Most people hear the phrase working out and immediately picture punishment. Grunting, exhaustion, counting calories, sweat dripping into their eyes as they stare at some number on a treadmill that never seems to change. But what if working out had nothing to do with punishment? What if movement became your reward, your daily declaration of freedom? Because that's what it's become for me, and it's the next phase of the 4-phase freedom protocol. Working it out. Movement as medicine. Discipline as devotion. Energy as liberation. Here's the truth no one tells you. Freedom doesn't start in your bank account or on your vision board. It starts in your body. Your body is the container that holds your energy, your focus, your clarity, your peace. When you neglect it, when you keep pushing it later, you bury your potential under fatigue and fog. But when you move, truly move, you wake up everything that's been asleep inside you. It's like flipping the main breaker back on after a storm. The lights come back. The power hums. And you realize you were never broken. You were just unplugged. I used to think fitness had to hurt to count. The old no pain, no gain mindset. Punishing myself for missing a day, feeling guilty for skipping a session. But the truth is, consistency beats intensity every time. You don't have to destroy your body to transform it. You just have to show up again and again and again. Consistency is the quiet revolution. It's the daily micro-commitment that builds macro freedom. Here's what my routine looks like. Not because you should copy it, but because it proves the point. I follow Michael Holland every day. His methods aren't about reps and sets. They're about energy flow. Simple movements. Lymphatic hops, trunk twists, arm swings, spinal waves, deep diaphragmatic breathing. They wake up your nervous system like nothing else. It's movement designed to clear stagnation, not accumulate stress. Then, 3 times a week, I pick up the kettlebell. That simple chunk of iron has become my full-body gym. Every swing fuels both strength and stillness. Every press reminds me that focus isn't in my mind, it's in my breath. It's raw, primal, satisfying. Daily, I stretch and mobilize with the Moves method by Vanya and Josh. Their flows bring grace back into effort. It's strength wrapped in mobility, control inside softness. Sometimes I train on the total gym, sometimes I spin on the bike, and other days I just walk outside. The routine changes, but one rule never does. Do what you enjoy and do it consistently. Because if you love it, you'll come back to it. And coming back, that's freedom. Most people start strong. They buy the gear, the pre-workout, the nice shoes. They build motivation announcements instead of habits. And the moment motivation fades, they drop everything. It's not laziness. It's design. They built their routine around hype, not around joy. So here's the truth bomb. You don't need to feel inspired to move. You just need to show up long enough for movement to inspire you. Discipline grows from joy, not guilt. Once you find movement you enjoy, consistency becomes automatic. That's the secret. The body follows joy. You want lasting change? Stop waiting for an hour of perfect time. Start stacking 2 minutes of movement at a time. Morning flow, midday reset, evening unwind. Most people underestimate what 5 minutes of presence can do. Because when you move, your brain changes chemistry within seconds. Endorphins elevate mood. Dopamine creates reward patterns. Serotonin stabilizes emotion. BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, literally grows new connections. You're not just working out your body, you're remodeling your brain. That's why movement isn't optional in the Freedom Protocol. It's the engine. Because you can't think your way to freedom if your body is stuck in survival. When Michael Holland teaches movement, it's not just fitness, it's nervous system regulation. And that science matters. When the body moves rhythmically, swinging arms, controlled breathing, soft bouncing, you create a pattern the nervous system trusts. Your vagus nerve calms, your cortisol drops, your heart rate variability improves. What does that mean in real life? It means you stop reacting and start responding. You regain control of your state. You can't create from chaos, and movement creates order. That's the medicine. Let's be honest. Sometimes we don't move because it feels easier to stay stuck. Motion forces feeling. When you move, you shake loose everything you've been suppressing. Old frustration, grief, doubt, they rise to the surface. That's why so many people plateau. Their body's ready, but their heart resists the next level. If that's you, breathe through it. Keep moving, because movement gives emotion somewhere to go. Tears during a stretch, sighs at the end of a workout. That's emotional exhale. Freedom clears through the body first. Forget the before and after pictures. Forget the scale. Ask instead, do I feel more alive today than yesterday? Is my posture taller? Is my breath deeper? Do I walk into the world with more ease? Those are signs of progress. Because this isn't about sculpting a look, it's about reclaiming your presence. When the body feels good, confidence blooms naturally. Energy magnetizes. People feel your state before they hear your words. So when you align this physical freedom with your purpose, suddenly your work, your relationships, your creativity, everything accelerates. Early on, I made a promise to myself. I'd stop approaching movement as a project and start living it as a practice. That shift changed everything. You see, projects end, practices evolve. Projects rely on motivation. Practices rely on identity. Once movement became who I am, not what I do, everything clicked. Now, a day without movement feels like skipping water. I crave it. Because I finally understood. I don't work out to become free. I move because I am free. Here's a small window into my ritual. Morning. Wake up, drink water. No phone, no scrolling. Just 10 minutes of light movement. Hops, waves, swings, twists. The goal isn't to tire myself out, it's to wake energy up. Then I stand tall, close my eyes and whisper, I'm here, midday. I grab the kettlebell, maybe 20 minutes, sometimes 10. Swings, cleans, squats. Focus on breath, rhythm, control. No music, just me and momentum. Evening. I stretch with Vanya and Amp Josh, the Moves Method sessions. That's my transition ritual, from doing to being. The flow melts tension, grounds gratitude, clears my mind. None of these pieces are optional, they're anchors. Movement becomes meditation when consistency takes root. People cringe at the word discipline because they think it chains them down. But discipline is not a restriction, it's reinforcement. It stabilizes freedom. Think of it like this. Without form, energy just scatters. Without discipline, freedom dissolves. That's why the bodywork matters in this protocol. It gives the rest of your life a rhythm to dance around. Like Michael Holland says, everybody wants to heal until the medicine shows up as discipline. That quote hits me every time. Because movement is medicine, and consistency is the dosage. If you've ever said, I'm too tired to work out, here's the paradox. You're too tired because you're not moving. Energy doesn't come from caffeine or naps. It's generated through circulation. Motion creates emotion. That's the beauty of doing what you love. When I swing the kettlebell or stretch through flow, I'm not thinking about effort. I'm thinking about aliveness. And that's why I tell everyone, don't choose what burns calories. Choose what builds energy. Burnout is a symptom of living in resistance. Movement dissolves resistance. So here's the question, what's your movement? Maybe it's dance, walking, lifting, yoga, boxing, gardening. It doesn't matter. As long as you leave a piece of resistance behind every time you move. If you love what you do, discipline feels like devotion. And devotion is what unlocks power. Because the real purpose of movement isn't to look different. It's to remember who you already are. Let me tell you a story about momentum. A friend of mine, let's call him Alex, used to start programs and drop them every 3 weeks. Every January, new gym, new plan, new playlist. By March, nothing. He told me, man, I can't stay consistent. I lose the spark. So I said, then stop chasing the spark. Build the fire pit. The fire pit is structure, routine, something steady enough to hold heat. I told him, pick one thing you enjoy so much you'd do it even on your worst day. He picked cycling. 15 minutes after work every single day. 1 month later, he didn't just feel better, he started showing up better for his business, for his family, even for himself. The wildfire returned, but now it had direction. That's momentum. You don't need motivation, you need movement that sustains itself. When you hold commitment in your body, it radiates outward. You think more clearly. You handle stress better. You speak with conviction because you've built trust with yourself. That's an under-discussed truth. Physical integrity builds spiritual confidence. You can't fake it. People can feel when you're disciplined, grounded, alive. That's why this phase of the 4-phase freedom protocol exists, because freedom isn't manifested, it's embodied. We glorify the dramatic, before and after transformations, 90-day challenges, but the real magic lives in the quiet, unglamorous wins, finishing a session you didn't want to start, stretching instead of scrolling, breathing deeply before reacting, choosing flow over friction. Each act is a declaration, I'm in control. And those declarations compound faster than any supplement or gadget. Of course, there are days you won't want to move, days when the mental chatter gets loud. I'll do it tomorrow. What's the point? I'm tired. Those are the exact days movement matters most, because the resistance is not about fatigue, it's about identity shift. The old version of you wants to stay comfortable. Movement is confrontation. It reminds you of your power. So instead of fighting resistance, dance with it. Tell yourself, let's just start. 1 minute. 2. Move until resistance loses interest. And it always does. You'll know you've mastered this phase when you no longer need someone yelling, "Go!" to take action. That's internal sovereignty, the ability to self-direct. You become your own coach, your own motivator, your own accountability partner. And the reward isn't fitter muscles, it's inner authority. Freedom is being the kind of person you can rely on. When you say, "I move every day," your body believes you. That trust becomes identity, and that identity becomes unstoppable. If you stack this phase with the others, mindset, nutrition, discipline, your entire nervous system syncs with your vision. You stop chasing alignment and start living it. Movement turns from something you schedule to something you crave. Because once you feel what consistent energy feels like, you'll never go back to numb. This phase is the bridge between willpower and ease. It's where effort meets embodiment. And when you live embodied, your energy becomes your brand. That's the true leverage of freedom. So maybe you're listening right now thinking, "I don't have time to work out." Okay, but you have time to feel good, right? Then start there. Move for energy, not for ego. Because one day, you'll look back and realize the reps didn't just shape your body, they rewired your destiny. Movement is where healing meets discipline. It's the one practice that guarantees results beyond the mirror. Clarity, confidence, creativity, groundedness. And when all those become your baseline, you don't have to chase freedom anymore. You are freedom. So here's your invitation. Find your rhythm. Move every day like it's a conversation with your future self. Honor the body that holds your potential. And remember, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do it with joy and you do it consistently. Because real freedom is a body in motion.